So I was born in the region of Duplo, in the village of Dublé, and it was in Côte d'Ivoire. My father was a Liberian and my mother was an Ivorian. My older sister and I, we were in Côte d'Ivoire for a while, and my mom would always like to dress up us in the same clothes. It was really funny until the war happened and we had to move to Liberia, where my father was staying. That's when we stayed in the refugee camps for a while. And the refugee camps wasn't really fun. Like, you had a small tent, there was rations, and my mother said that she pretty much gave us most of the food because she thought we were her biggest priority, and she didn't really eat as much. And my father was about to go fight in the war. So my father, he stayed after my mother had begged him to stay, and he thought about registering us to come to America. I was a year old pretty much when I was coming to America. My mother and my father and my older sister, they were all together, but I lived with my auntie who was in Minnesota. And I stayed with her until I think I was 4 or 5. So I wasn't really with my father or my family. It took a lot from me since I wasn't really with my family and I was with someone else. And when my father came to get me, I thought it was a stranger. So far, I've been with my family now, but it's still a little bit awkward when my auntie comes around and my mom's there, because I still refer to my auntie as Ma. I was in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then we moved around a lot because we went to Grand Forks, and from Grand Forks we moved to Sioux Falls, and then we came down here, and that's when I registered into Woodrow Wilson. And living there was when I first experienced winter, and I didn't know what snow was or where it came from or what it does. In fact, I believe it was in Sioux Falls that I got my first frostbite on my right ear. I didn't really know English that well. In fact, I'm still struggling with English, even if it may be hard to tell. Well, I sort of felt like an outcast since I had to go to ELL, and it was always speak English, do you know English? It kind of made me feel bad about myself that I didn't know the language that everyone spoke. Languages that we speak at home is like an African English, where we have different accents and different things. We also speak Kron and French. And I also like speaking my African English because I like to confuse people. And it's through that they ask me, oh, where are you from? Or where did you get this accent from? I feel happy now that I know that it's actually okay to be different. Instead of American and only speaking English, it's actually helpful now that I know it's okay to be who you are, to speak a different language, to come from somewhere else, and you don't have to be embarrassed about it. I want to be a mechanical engineer because I've realized that technology really runs the world now, and I've always been fascinated by how they help everyone. So I've read books about putting things together and taking them apart and seeing how they function and work. And I just want to expand in that region because you can help so many people. It's just really made me think about people in general and how technology really helps us and brings us together. There's so many cultures in this place that I am just so fascinated by, and I'm glad that my father and my whole entire family has strived to actually bring us here, and that I'm here and I can help other people who are new here, and I'm just glad to say that I'm American.